Guys, welcome back to another video. On today's video I thought I'll just have a little bit of a chat with you guys. It's actually, I got the idea from one of my Instagram followers who is based in South Africa, and I've got to know her quite young, in her 20s, and she just finished uni. She's staying at home with her mom and younger brother, and she sent me a message one day. Obviously we were chatting, and later on she sent me a message like it was such a nice message. Basically she just said how I sort of like inspires her. She looked up to me, and you know, for somebody who's also from South Africa, she just wanted tips, obviously, how she would sort of like leave South Africa and she could start traveling. She'd seen obviously that I travel a lot, and she kind of reminded me when I was that age, because she's 21, or she just turned 21. And I remember when I turned 21, I was actually in America, and at a time, and for me to be in America, it was a long sort of like planned process. When I was in school, obviously, like in high school, I always knew that eventually, as soon as things were good, I was gonna leave South Africa. I've always seen myself as an international child, and so I had to put things in plan. But obviously, if you come from a not too rich family, I mean, we're not poor at home, but you know, I had to learn to prioritize things, and my family supported me as much as they could support me. So I made a decision then that I was going to move to Johannesburg, and I lived in Joburg for 3 years before actually leaving South Africa permanently. And the plan was to actually try and study when I was in Johannesburg, but I knew at the same time that my family would not afford to send me to school. So I obviously ended up getting a job as a waitress on 7th Street at Nuno's. I love that job. I absolutely love that job. I quite enjoy like all my sort of like my Joburg life. Like at a time, the 3 years I spent in Joburg, I had a good sort of like group of friends. Some were older than me, some were younger. It did help to have a bit of older sort of like group of friends that were already working, because I knew if I was out of order or out of place, they will easily say to me, hey, hang on a minute. And it was easy also to talk to them about the plans that I had, and they would not sort of like laugh. You know how young people are when you're in school. I remember when I was in school, they used to laugh at me. They used to call me a dreamer. So that kind of like helped in my journey. And eventually then I left South Africa. But then anyway, this video is not about me. It's just about what we talked about with this particular girl on Instagram, who I've become really fond of. Like, we probably talk now every day. So I was telling her that you need to have a plan of action. I know sometimes, you know, to even think, okay, to go somewhere, whether it's a holiday, you need money. And if you haven't got a job and you've just finished uni, how do you get money? So I said to her, you've just finished uni, obviously, and you've done well. At the moment, I do know that you're looking for a job. And she said, yes, I'm looking for a job. And I then turned around and I said to her, what type of a job are you looking for? Is it the job that you studied for, or do you want any job? And that's when then she said to me, well, I've spent 3 years at uni studying, I believe she studied BCom accounting, if I'm not mistaken, but it has to do with accounting. And so from the charts, there's quite a high number of graduates in South Africa with the same degree. And looking at the statistics, I don't think she'll be able to to get a job just like that. It's a popular job that she studied for. And then I said to her, wouldn't it be probably a better idea if you just get a job, any job, waitressing job or working in a hotel, any job that will give you money, so you can use that money then while you're doing that job. It also going to help when you submitting your CV, because employers, they like to see that you've been doing something rather than being at home. And then she turned around, she said she hasn't looked at it that way. She had hopes and dreams that as soon as she finished uni, she will get the job that she wanted. And I then turned around and I said, sometimes to get where you want to get to, the road is not always straightforward. You might have to go via certain areas, but you still reach your destination. And I said to her, maybe if you hang on, I think my son might be shouting me. I'll be back. I'm back here. Sorry, my son, he wanted help in the toilet. Mommy duties. Yeah. So, and then I said to her, just to continue where we were, and then I said to her, wouldn't it be better if you get a job, just any job, so that you can start putting things in plan? And then obviously we spoke about that, and she promised me that she was gonna try and look for something that will come in quicker than her dream job. And then at least that way she can earn a bit of money, she can start putting things in motion. Then this actually got me thinking as we were talking more, because obviously she had commented on a purchase that I made. She said, oh, how she loved it, and we were talking about prices and stuff. And then we started talking about luxury stuff and the traveling and other bits and bobs. And I realized that actually social media, it's a very... Where's your squishes? I'm not sure. Are they not downstairs, or did you leave them outside when you were playing outside? Yeah. Go and have a look outside. Okay? Yeah, and I just thought, social media plays a huge, huge role in people's life. And it's up to an individually to believe what they want to believe, or take what's positive out of social media and leave what's not positive. Some of us that are doing vlogging or blogging or doing Instagram, some of us are doing it for fun, some of us are doing it as a business, some of us are just mixing it with their day-to-day job. And it pains me to think that there are some of us out there who actually gets depressed or sad when they look at other people's life on social media and think, how come my life is not like that? I know that it's not an easy one. You can't open the door. Okay, mommy's gonna come and open the door. Sorry guys, 1 minute. Sorry about that again. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, it pains me to think there are people, obviously, as I've said, who looks at other people's lives on social media and think, how come my life is not like that? And, for me, it's easy, or it's the way forward is you can turn things around, and also do not believe everything you see on social media, because we create content based on whatever we want to, not ideally like want to sell, but I know a lot of sort of like bloggers or vloggers, they are into the habit of advertising a lot of stuff, and that's how they make their living, fair dues. But if you're going to be advertising everything, every day you're advertising something, it doesn't hurt to be a little bit honest with people, because this is, people's lives. Not everyone is strong enough to think, okay, that's not right, or that's just a bit much, or can I actually have that? Would it work for me? And also the thought of, where am I going to get the money from that? So it's almost like you selling people the dream, and then you've got, on the other hand, people that love the champagne lifestyle, but their budget is more of a beer budget, if I could put it in that context. And it's sad when you realize what people have to do to then be able to say, okay, I want to go get that bag she's got, or that car she's driving, or that particular item. People put themselves through things that they shouldn't be putting themselves through. And it's always these young kids, like in their 20s, who should be, yes, having fun, who should be traveling the world and not stressing about having a Gucci bag, or, having that certain lifestyle. Yes, not all 20-year-olds or 21-year-olds do that. Some are clued up, some already have mortgages, some, they're really, really independent people that plan things. And what I find worked for me when I was younger, like in my 20s, what used to help me was planning what I was doing for that year. I would physically, to this day, I still do that. I went from having a diary to having like these black books, which like notepads that I write, and I will write every single thing down that I wanted to achieve in that year, or a certain goal. If it was a piece of an item for my wardrobe, I will write it down. I still do that. I'm now married, I've got 2 kids, I've got a home, and I haven't got all the millions, I haven't got the money to be buying luxury every day. In my other life, yes, thinking about it, I will have all sorts of luxury stuff that I love, because you are allowed to love things, but at the same time, you need to be realistic about it and just say, can I really afford to be buying a Gucci bag today, and next week I'm buying a Chanel bag, and next week I'm buying a Tom Ford? We do love our designer stuff. There's nothing wrong with loving those things, but also a lot of us don't want to put in the work. We don't want to work to have that money to go and buy and save and then get the item. Sometimes you see people saying, oh, I can't be, I want that, but I'm too lazy to go find a job or to go to work. And some people even leave their jobs because it's just too much for them to wake up in the morning and go and work. So my question is, if you don't want to work, but you want, that certain lifestyle, how are you going to achieve it? It's a different story when somebody is looking for a job and they can't find a job. But then it becomes a certain story if a job comes along and you're too picky to do the job because it's beneath you, or it's because that's not what you studied for. There's so many of us there that have degrees in certain sort of like fields, but we're not working in those fields, and we had to make a decision that, okay, the job is not available at the moment, what can I do? For me, it's more important to have a job and earn money, be able to pay your bills, be able to make your home feel comfortable. If you do not own your home, whether you're renting, or you sharing accommodation, make your space, make your home more comfortable for you, or make it look presentable. You have people that are wearing your Balenciagas, your Givenchy's. We're seeing them flying to Bali, to Dubai, to America, to Las Vegas. But then when you see where they live, you're like, how can you go buy a 3,000 pound bag when you don't even have a decent bed? You open their wardrobes, there's not wardrobe, their fridges, there's tomato and water. And these people are eating out every day. They showing us on Instagram, at this place, popping champagnes, they having these steaks or these meals that are costing, 25 pounds to 30 pounds a meal, when you could take that 35 pounds and go to Tesco's or Sainsbury's, or if you're in South Africa, Pick and Pay, and get yourself groceries for the week or 2 weeks. For me, I can't get my head around that. You're looking all fly, but you've got nothing to show for yourself. If you do not have a disability, you've got 2 hands, your mind is of sane, you can speak, you can walk. I just can't get around the idea of understanding that you don't want a job because it's beneath you. I just, something that's going to make your life better, something that's going to give you a slow move towards that lifestyle or that dream that you want to achieve. For me, I just do not understand. Obviously it's different if you haven't thought it that way, but the only way, to have anything in life is to put in work. And if you don't want to put in work, then how are you going to achieve it? I know there's been a big growth, like a huge growth, especially in South Africa, this lifestyle of blessers, where young girls, 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds, don't want to work, don't want to study. They just want a blesser. Everybody's like, I need to find a blesser. For those who don't know what a blesser is, if you do not live in South Africa, it's these old married men, most of the time with big bellies, and financially they're good. So what they do really, they sort of like, it's almost like an exchange thing. I'm going to look after you. I'm going to buy you all these nice things in exchange for whether, I wouldn't even call it a relationship because they are married. So it's almost like you become a kept woman. It's a lifestyle that's degrading, and they are choosing that lifestyle. They're like, well, he's not my responsibility, he's the one who's married. As long as I'm getting the money, as long as I'm getting that Gucci bag, as long as I'm getting that Tom Ford perfume, I'm happy. And they are happy with that lifestyle. So as I've said, we've seen a growth in this, and people are still doing it. Not just young girls, even people that are old enough, like to be working, to be thinking, oh my God, this is not right, but people are still doing it for the sake of they want that particular lifestyle. And it always has to do with luxury brands. And it just breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart. But you know what? It is happening. And a person will leave that lifestyle. I know before it used to be like girls will become strippers, will become prostitutes, to have that type of a living. To the shift now, we're seeing that it's become almost like it's a trend. It's like it's an in thing. It's no, but he's my blesser. I'm not a prostitute. That's another way they look at it, and people sometimes they even say, oh no, it's all about, it's a transaction, it's a give and take, it's a transaction. I give him what he can't get from his wife. I'm young, I'm fresh, I'm all this, and he gives me what I want. I want this luxury lifestyle. It's really sad, but it is happening. It's something that we're seeing. So going obviously forward with the conversation, I then said to her, the best thing to do, just write down your goals. And once you've got a job, you work at your goal one at a time. And obviously, once you've got the job, it's a now matter of like, my salary is not enough to cover everything. This is where you need to be a bit of a grown up and prioritize what's more important. Get a job, your bills are paid. If you live at home, I suppose probably mom and dad are charging you a bit of rent, which it's a good thing, because then it will teach you that responsibility of knowing that you gotta pay your bills, and then you will have probably 1 or 2 personal bills like your mobile phone, and then obviously money, to enjoy yourself. So you need to plan in such a way that then once your bills are paid, your personal bills, you've paid your rent, you need to cut off on the personal fun. If you smoke and you drink, you need to make a decision on how you're going to spend your money, because you can't be spending all your money on booze, on cigarettes. You still also need like personal stuff like your roll-ons and things like that. So do a plan. You know, you know yourself, you will know yourself, you will know what you need, what's more important. And then put aside something for rainy days, you know. Obviously, if you've got a plan and you can't put aside, there's not enough to put on rainy days. Pick up overtime in work if you're in a job where you can pick up overtime, and then you'll be able to afford the extras, you know. So it's all about planning. It's all about, you know, having that focus basically. And try also, if you're young, try and find somebody older who's got sort of like the similar lifestyle that you sort of want. And if you can have that person as your mentor, just to ask questions, just to, you know, to bombard her and so in a positive way, and you'll be fine. Because sometimes when you speak to friends that are your own age, it's almost like a blind leading a blind, because both of you or all of you in a group, if you just finished uni, you've got no jobs, if you say, guys, let's look for a job, some of you may be like, okay, well, that's a good idea. But you still have somebody who's going to say, I didn't spend 3 years studying BOM accounting to go wash dishes or be a scullery boy or a scullery girl or a maid if it's a hotel job, you know. But then you'll still have those ones who will say, you know what, it's a good idea. And then they'll be thinking about, I haven't got any bills, it's such huge bills, but I can start saving up for something. It's never too early to start saving up for your mortgage or, you know, I'm not going to say a car, because for me, a car is not something that will be my main priority. Of course, I've got a car now. It takes me to A and B. But when I was that age, it was never something that I was like, I want that car, because car is not, I moved towards more investment kind of thing, is like, you know, mortgage, a home, and etc. So I don't know if I make sense with what I'm trying to say. I probably have covered so many different things when I was trying to actually talk about one thing, which is like how social media affects us in a way that we end up thinking our lives are not okay, when actually all you have to do is mentality shift, and also just finding a way of getting yourself to a better position. Like, as I've mentioned, that if you just finished uni, and or even if you have finished uni for a few years and there hasn't been a job opportunity coming by of what you've studied for, maybe it's time to dust yourself off and just say, you know what, I am going to go and look for that waitressing job. I am going to go look for that scullery job, that being a packer, working a supermarket job, while I'm waiting to get my dream job. So I hope I've made sense. Yeah. So anyway, by the second day after we had our conversation with this girl, who obviously inspired me to do this video. She told me that she's had a job she got a job at Musgrave Center in Durban. Those who live in South Africa know. And she's very happy because it's a starting point. And I got a text message from her mom thanking me for sort of like, you know, having a chat and for being in her life. And I haven't met this girl. I'm going to be honest with you guys. We met through social media, but I've kind of like taken her under my wing, and we talk every day. If she's got any sort of like issues, or she needs advice on something, she normally will send me a text message, or we'll talk through social media, Instagram mostly, and we'll try and work something out. I will be going to South Africa hopefully as soon as everything opens up, and or as soon as, you know, our Prime Minister decides that South Africa can be on the amber list, because at the moment we're still on the red list, and which means if you are coming from the UK and you're traveling to South Africa, when you come back to the UK, you have to hotel quarantine, and the price also had just gone up, and it's ridiculous. I don't know how long it's gonna go for. So I'm hoping soon they're gonna change things, even if they put us on amber, because obviously we're not gonna go on the green list. Then I can go to South Africa. So hopefully when I do go to South Africa, I'll meet up with her and we'll like meet in person for the first time. And I'm hoping by then she would have done quite loads, because obviously I sent her to do a big list for obviously for the year 2022, and for now her focus is just gonna be just really doing her job where she works in Musgrave. I'm not going to mention where, because obviously for security reasons. You know, I'm hoping by December she would have saved a little bit, and then we'll start obviously working on the second plan. So she's done her yearly plan, and we shall see how to proceed, obviously, whether I do see her before that or even now when we next to move to the next phase. We've put it in phases, what she wants to achieve in 3 months, and then in 6 months, in 9 months, and then to a year. So I'm quite excited for her, and honestly, as a mother, I'm hoping, should I not be around for my kids, you know, and as social media grows, there will be more people that will think like I'm thinking now, you know, or helping this young lady, you know, do the same for my kids should they find themselves in such a in such a position. And also just to also say that not all of us that are on social media are all about, you know, certain lifestyle or certain things. You know, we believe, some of us, that, you know, we're doing this for a reason, or as you grow on social media, you get a following, and you want to try and do right by those people that follow you. And for me, that was one of my biggest thing, that, you know, using social media as a platform to help others, but also to better myself and challenge myself. And I like to believe that I'm not doing so bad at all. I'm not all about, oh, look at this, I've bought this, look at that. Yes, I do that, but at the same time, I have to be honest. I always, you know, when I buy things and I'm doing my unboxing, I always tell you guys that I've thought about it for 6 months to a year sometimes to buy an item, because for me, I come from that background that I need to justify every spending, and also learning to prioritize things, like what's more important. Is it the Gucci bag, or is it getting a new sofa for the house, or updating, you know, the kitchen and stuff like that? So it is doable. Some of us are there to inspire you guys, to show you that there's more to life than just, you know, Louis Vuitton bags or Gucci bags. Yes, we do love fashion and all that, but it's not that important. Yeah, so I hope this video has really been helpful. And if you want to see more videos like this one, please do let me know. And because I know some of you all following me, or you all subscribed for different reason, but if it's something that you want to see more of, similar videos, let me know, and I'll be happy to do more sort of like inspirational sort of like videos, and just, you know, that talk, you know, that kind of like tell the truth, or you know what I mean anyway, kind of videos. And yeah, let me know. And if you've liked this one, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And obviously, if you're not part of my family, I would love you to join the squad. And please do subscribe and hit that bell button so you get notified every time I post a video. I post videos every Wednesday, and I'll see you guys on the next video.